Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a general introduction to HTML, and we're going to understand a little bit about how HTML elements and attributes generally work. So thank you for joining me on this video, and let's get right into it. So first off, we're going to discuss a little bit about what HTML really is. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's a way of being able to describe the structure of a web page. So generally, what HTML is doing is it's defining the part of the web page that people see and interact with. So with HTML, we're able to describe how that web page should look, what things should be on that web page, and what's important, the way that it should be formatted and the way that it should look to the user who visits the web page. Now, in order to achieve this, we're going to use a variety of different HTML elements. And an HTML element is simply a component of our web page, and it helps us to better structure our web page overall. So each of these elements is going to be defined in a very specific way. There's going to be triangular brackets, and in the middle of those triangular brackets is going to be the name of the component. Every component is going to have an opening tag, which is what those triangular brackets are called, and a closing tag, and we'll see that in the example that I have in the next slide here. But that's generally the idea of elements, is that each of them is going to represent a component on our web page, and we're going to spend some time getting familiar with the various components that exist in HTML. So this shows you a little bit about the general HTML structure, and this is the way that we're going to structure pretty much every HTML page that we create, and this gives you a better idea of each of the components and tags that exist. So you can see that all of these are inside of triangular brackets, and you may notice that some of them have this slash in it, and some of them don't. The ones with the slash are indicating the end tag, and then the ones without the slash indicate the beginning tag. So you can see that we have head and then the slash head. So head is the start of the head tag, and then slash is the end of the head tag. And what's going to happen is everything in between those two tags is contained within the head component of our HTML page. So to understand better what those components are, let's just walk through what each of these tags mean. The doc type HTML is just a defining component that says, hey, we're writing code in HTML. As the same with the next following tag, the HTML tag. That's describing, okay, the HTML starts here, and then the slash HTML indicates where the HTML code ends. So it's the start and end point. The head describes the metadata of the website, so it's typically seen as the things that the website does not display to the user. Some components of the head are displayed, but most of them are just sort of informational. They're sort of used by things like search engines to better understand the structure of our web page and what's contained on it. So that's the idea of the head. And again, everything between the head and slash head is going to be what's contained inside of that head data. And then we have the body. So the body is everything that's displayed to the user. So it's the actual component of the page. It's the things that the user actually sees and interacts with. And again, everything between the body and slash body tag are going to be contained within that body. So this just gives you a general idea of the HTML structure. And at this point, to summarize, we should be familiar with the idea of what HTML is, what HTML does, and then the general structure of an HTML page. Understanding this, we can move on to the next concept, which will be discussing the idea of various HTML tags that we can use in our actual web pages. So that is everything for this video. Thank you very much for watching this video. In the next video, we're going to dive deeper into HTML tags and learn how to make a basic web page using HTML.